Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 175. It is early morning. Friday? Friday. It's Friday! Okay, Friday. Whatever today is, July 18th. And we are just heading out. It's a beautiful rainy day today. I woke up, got ready. I was so tired last night. Got ready to go, and I thought, before I left, my car's been having the problem with that tire pressure monitor. Sometimes it says the tire is low, sometimes not. Let me take a look at these tires. And I looked, and the driver's side front tire seemed a little bit low, so I put a little bit of air in there. That seemed to fix the issue, so everything is okay. That light went off. We'll see if that tire pressure monitor comes back on or not, but I think it was just maybe the tire was slightly low, like 3 or 4 pounds low. So I put that in there. All the lights went off. So everything is good there. But it is like a light mist coming down this morning. We're just heading out here for the day. It seems a little bit warm already. It might just be because of the humidity. But it's only like 70 right now. The high today is going to be 80. A lot of rain between me and where I'm going, so that'll be interesting. As far as work is concerned, I believe I only have one meeting today. Let me double check. And I think, yeah, it's a 10 o'clock meeting, and we're going to be going over a new product that we're considering buying, which is interesting because we are laying people off and we're buying more hardware. So there you go. One of the reasons that the company came up with for laying people off is AI. AI is doing the work of a lot more people. Technology is getting cheaper. Our customers are also using AI, and some of them don't need the products that we make as much. Some of our customers are buying the product but not paying and then canceling. So that is the kind of thing going on right now. But we all knew that AI was going to take over jobs. I've talked about this for the last year or two, that a large percentage of people's jobs are going to disappear. And I know the president is trying to bring back manufacturing, but I think a lot of the manufacturing that's going to be coming back is going to be made in a very high-tech way, where a lot of robots are going to be doing the work, and a lot of AI is going to be involved in solving problems. And we may not need as many people as we think we do, but definitely still important to bring those jobs here rather than somewhere else and have the money go to our country. And even if it's less employees, our employees, obviously. But yeah, this is a serious problem. They say that there's not going to be another wave of layoffs. And right now I am safe. My job is a critical job according to them. And so, no problem there, but we'll see if there are more layoffs to come. I remember after September 11th in 2001, by January 2002, people were being laid off, and then all through 2002, people were being laid off, and I get laid off 2003, which is like when the market is full of people looking for jobs and not enough jobs. So hopefully something like that does not happen right now. I think lowering interest rates is going to help raise demand. It might raise inflation a little bit, but inflation is already so tame at this point that I think it's definitely worth lowering that rate, refinancing the government's debt at a lower rate. That's all on short-term debt right now. Refinancing to a longer term at a lower rate, creating those extra jobs, taking that little bit of inflation, get it up to 2 or 3%, where it's at 1 to 2% right now, and overall would help the country a lot more. So hopefully that relief is coming and jobs will be created. I'd hate to see unemployment start to go back up again now that it's in a really good place. But anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing, does it? Today we are going to one of the areas where I have some issues with casinos. We're going to visit one casino that I've already been backed off of, and technically told don't come back, but never read any kind of trespass thing. So we're going to attempt to go there first thing this morning. Obviously, we're not going to use any card or anything like that. I am not going to park in the VIP area because I don't believe that there's a license plate reader when you first come in, but I think there's one in the VIP area. So I'm going to park right outside the VIP area. We'll see when I get in there. If there's a license plate reader both places, then I'll just go right into the closer parking and go right into the casino and see what happens. This casino has a security guard and a police officer at the door, so hopefully we don't have any issues there. Hate to be put in jail over the weekend here, but we're going to do that, and then we're going to go play some blackjack, a couple sessions of blackjack, and I actually considered going to another place which is a lot further, but I just don't know if I'm going to want to drive an extra 3 hours for that, so we'll see how the weather is, we'll see how the winning is, the opportunities, all that kind of stuff, and we'll make decisions as we go. But right now, we are heading off to our first casino, and hopefully we're able to walk in and play. And I did want to mention also, look for an episode from Coach this Saturday. So I believe that would be his 4th episode, if I'm right here. So expect that to be released on Saturday. So that's it for now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back and just getting back on the road here. Just stopped for some fuel, and still raining, congested, construction, so all the fun stuff that we go through. I was actually just watching some YouTube videos about some games that we'd like to crush and just learning a little bit more about it. So, trying to make the most of my time here. Should be getting to our first casino around just a little bit after 8 a.m. And we'll see what happens there. So, yep, cross your fingers. I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. Went into that place that I was thrown out of the other day, and no issues. Actually, it's funny because there's a song that was playing when I walked in. It's bad, 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 bad boys. You make me feel so good. Like, okay, here we go. Walked in. I videotaped it actually, just in case. Security guard is there. Police officer is there. Came in with my car, with my license plate. Used a card, someone else's card, to get into the VIP. Parked in the VIP, walked in the casino, stayed in the casino for about 20 minutes, left the casino, no issues. So it's definitely the player card that alerted them, and we won't be using it anymore, so that's all fine. Now, I did find just one play in there, and it was borderline. It was probably like, I don't know, $10 or less in EV, and I decided against it for a couple reasons. Number one, still not positive about what's going on there. Number two, it's right next to the security guard / police officer, and it's a high variance game for a small amount of EV. Just didn't make sense to me, so decided against it. So we didn't play anything while we were in there, just gathered more information basically, and so there you go. Now we're going to be moving on to another place, and we're going to be playing primarily blackjack there. We're going to have to stop before we get there for our meeting, evaluating this product, and then we'll continue on and get to the casino, play some blackjack. So unfortunately, by the time the meeting is over, the shift change will happen, so I will only be around for one shift. I mean, it's impossible otherwise, unless the meeting is canceled, which I don't see. And even if the meeting is canceled, I'll only have like 30 minutes with the old, 25 minutes with the old shift, because the pit bosses show up 15 minutes before the dealers. So, you know, I'd have to be out of there 15 minutes before the shift change. It's just too much to overcome. So we're going to take our time, not kill ourselves getting there, and we'll stop. We already got fuel, but we'll stop and do our phone call here with the team, and then we'll continue on, go into the casino, make a little bit of money on blackjack, and I may be meeting up with an AP today as well. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I'm a little bummed out, I gotta admit. I got extra time left here and nowhere to go, so not really sure what to do. There's one other place I could add, but then I'd be home really late, and it's an extra 3 hours of driving. Do I want to do that? That adds like over 5 hours to my day, because I don't have to drive straight here on the way back, but adding 5 hours to my day puts me late without playing there. So I went into this casino, and I had a couple sessions of blackjack. First, actually, I met a friend. We talked for a little while. He's going to be going to Vegas just before I am. A lot of people seem to be going to Vegas at that time, which is probably a good time because World Series stuff is over and all that stuff. So it's a good time to go when things calm down. Yeah, little frustrated right now because everywhere around me I can't go to. There's one place, but I'm not equipped to go there right now, so not really sure here. And we got a cop behind me. That's nice too. So anyway, all right. So went to the first table, the $15 table, spread 15 to 150, and okay, MW, you're going 50 to 500, 50 to 1,000, 15 to 150. How do you know what you're spreading? Just depends on the place, depends on the minimums, and what's going to fly under the radar. And in this area, 15 to 150 made the most sense. So I did that. I bought in for 300, lost that, bought in for 200 more, and that's all I needed. I had one hand that was a kind of a crazy hand. I was, quote, all in because I was, quote, frustrated when, that was part of the count. And I ended up with two aces against a 9. No, two aces against an 8. And, yeah. 2 aces against an 8, and it was a really high count, so I'm expecting 10s to come out. So split the aces and get another ace, end up with 3 aces, and get a 7 on the first hand, 7 on the second hand, and a 10 on the third hand, so 18, 18, 21, and dealer ended up having 18, so I ended up just having a win on one of the bets. So, but splitting aces like that with a high count, I'm expecting 10s, other aces of course, but I'm expecting a lot of 10s to come, and that didn't happen, so that was a little bit frustrating. There were a lot of hands where my splits and doubles just went terribly, and it was just like one half of a shoe on one table and like a quarter of a shoe on another table that really brought me back. Before that, I was just suffering and just paying rent, as they say, slowly sliding down. But that first table there, I ended up leaving ahead 285 plus 285, spreading from 15 to 150. I was at that table for almost an hour, and then went to another table, started playing that one, and that one was not going well. The count started sliding. I ended up switching to a table on the other side of the pit and played the rest of the time there. And there I was spreading from 25 to 250 and played there for a long time until I wasn't able to anymore. And I was involved for as much as, oh boy, let me think here. See, now I'm thinking I got my numbers wrong. So I was in for 5 at that table. 6, actually. I was in for 6 at that table. And then ended up ahead 285, right? So that means I had almost 9. Well, yeah, that's right. So moved to that other 2 tables and played there for a while, and it was just horrendous the whole time. And then finally, I got a break. I had a big double down, max bet double down 250, and I ended up with a 21 on that. I ended up winning that hand, and then the next hand, the count had fallen a little bit. Had a $150 hand out, and that one was another double down. Ended up winning that one, shoe ends, and I color up 1300 as 2 ladies were sitting down, and end up leaving that table ahead only 115. So 115 and 285 is 400, and then I played one machine for about 2 seconds and ended that ahead $30. So I don't know. Is this going to be our day? I don't know. I'm going to go stop at a grocery store and pick up something to eat and decide what to do from here. Talk to the wife and see if she's okay with me being super late tonight. And then if I feel good, I may do that. If not, we'll have to figure something out from there. So lottery tickets or something. No, I'm just kidding. No lottery tickets. Please don't do that unless you know what you're doing. Anyway, so all right, I'm going to let you go for now. Plus 400 on the blackjack, plus 30 on slots, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. Just listened to the Coach's Corner episode 4, which is coming out tomorrow, and Coach did a good job. I mean, Coach is such a nice guy. One of my favorite people, really. Nice guy, down to earth, really, really, really good person. So I appreciate him doing that. Good episode. Sorry about what happened to him, but I'm going to leave that up to him to tell you about it. I'm not going to steal his thunder. But yeah, good episode by Coach. Look for that tomorrow. And decided that I'm not going to move on to the casino that's 3 hours away. Instead, we're going to head home. We're going to go play some poker tonight. So we're going to go hang out with the family, go play some poker tonight. It'll be packed tonight. And that way we can earn a little bit more EV. It might be skinny EV, but we'll do that, and we'll try to swing by the casino as well. If we swing by the casino, that'll save me a trip for Sunday going to that casino. So we'll see how things go. Most likely we're going to do that. But right now, heading toward home, and still, I've been driving for half an hour, still about 3 hours away. And I'll be back to update you shortly. All right, guys, I kind of stepped in at this time. So I went back to that same casino I was thrown out of, and then went back to it, and then went back to it again. So this is the 3rd time I've been back there, and I got some answers now about what happened. It turns out that they got my information from my license. So those plates will be replaced probably tomorrow, which is a shame because I like these plates. They're my favorite plates that I've ever had. So they will be hung up on the wall in the house, and we will have new plates. And we'll give this place a couple months here to calm down, and then we'll try again. Now the other place that threw me out, I don't know if that's how they got me or not, but the plates can do nothing but help at this point. So new plates will be coming, and we'll see what happens. So I'm thinking, whenever that was, 8-10 months ago, whenever that was, I went to a state I normally don't go to and got thrown out. Those plates were in my name, though. These are not in my name. So, interesting. So, table games. The only thing I can think of is whenever it was 4 months, 5 months, 6 months ago, when I was here and the guy half-shoot me, that they didn't know who I was, but he said they got my name from my plates. My name doesn't match my plates. So, interesting. Let me see here if I can play. I taped it actually, so I don't know if this will work or not, but we're going to try this. Let me do it as a different soundbite though. Alright, let's see if this video will work.
So here's the thing. We have reason to believe that you will advantage player. So like if you play table games, you know what cards are going to be played.
I don't play table games. I play slot machines.
Okay. So unfortunately, they identified you. So unfortunately, you won't be able to be on property for that.
Okay, can I cash out?
Yeah, you can cash out.
I'm sorry, I don't play table games.
Yeah, like I said, they had your license plate, so
Okay.
All right, so that was the first part, and then there is a second part also. It's a one long video, but I don't want to. I said hi, or I gave warning to a guy as I was walking by that they were doing this. They didn't hear me. They were 20 steps behind me, but I let him know that they were doing that, so I don't want to have his name on the audio here. So, but yeah, that's what they did here. Let me see if I can get the other part for you. All right, let's try to do the second part here.
I'm just waiting. How would you even know what card's going to come out? And how would I do that if I don't even play the tables?
like I said, they identified you off of your license plate on your car. So there was something I don't work with the camera down for sure, but
There you go. So that's what they did. So now we know. And I had already counted that out because when I went into that casino this morning, nobody said a word to me. So maybe security wasn't there yet at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know. But that's what happened. And now I know at least what happened. And we will remedy that. And we won't come back here for a while. But we will go to the other one. We'll give both of them some time, but we will eventually go back there. So, yep, that's what's going on. Oh, I did walk into this place. I was videotaping when I came in, also. So I have video of me walking in, walking around, checking machines, playing a machine, winning at the machine, and then I stopped the video. I'm like, well, I guess I'm safe, but I left the camera up just in case. And then when the guy said, "Sir," I said, "Hold on," and I put the video back on so that I could record and see what happens there. So, but when I turned around, I saw the cop there. I'm like, son of a, it's Friday afternoon. You're going to arrest me. I'm going to be in jail over the weekend, you know. But still, he said you're going to have to leave today. They didn't trespass me. They just backed me off. I don't know why. Maybe they don't do that because I know the other place doesn't seem to trespass people either. I was there one day when someone got a CTR. Well, they had gotten a CTR prior, and they came back to play. They wouldn't let them play, and they said, "We told you can't come back here," and they just made him leave again. And they're like, "Oh yeah, he comes in here all the time. We keep telling him to leave." Like, okay, whatever. So, anyway, I'll be back. All right, let me clean this up for you here. It didn't come out too well, but basically, when the guy first came up to me, he said, "Sir, we have reason to believe that you're an advantage player on table games, which means you know which card is about to come out next." Okay. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't play table games. I had a voucher in my hand, and I showed him the voucher. I said, I play slots. And he said, well, unfortunately, I identified you by your license plate, and you're not going to be able to, I'm going to have to ask you to leave today. And then at the cash out machine, I said, well, just wondering, how would anyone know what the next card is? And he said, I don't know. He said, but we identified you by your license plate. So, you know, that's pretty much it. That's all they know. They don't even understand what they're talking about. And the cop was a little bit shocked too. I'm like, I don't do anything illegal. You can check my record. You know, you can, there's actually stuff about me that if you look me up, you'd be like, there's no way he's doing anything illegal, because he would lose all this other stuff. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Not to beat a dead horse, but I've been thinking things through here, and I mean, there's so much work that these people would have had to do. There's only two ways that they could have known that it was me with that license plate that was any kind of advantage player. And they said specifically table games. And here we are. Here's the two ways. Number one, way back when I got back off the other state, I had gone to the same casino twice over 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays back to back. The first Wednesday, as soon as I got in there, I hit a jackpot, and they would have gotten my name from there, but I was driving a car with a different license plate. So that doesn't seem to make any sense. The second way, which seems more likely, is when I was allegedly seen with a, quote, card counter at this casino, and they could have let one of these properties know, and because it's very close to that property, and then this property that I just left is a sister property of that one. That one seems to make the most sense, and that's probably what happened. But now we just reorganize and we make new plans. I've got a bunch of ideas, and unfortunately it may mean that the podcast goes bye-bye, or might go to once or twice a week or monthly or something like that, because what I may be doing might be big hits less often instead of these small hits daily. So yeah, let me do this. I'll probably play poker, but in case I don't, let me do some segments here, and then you'll be able to tell by the length of the podcast if I went and played poker tonight. So what did you eat today, MW? Shockingly, you're going to be surprised here. All I had today, I had some mushrooms and some cucumbers and a protein shake. That was it. So no rating on those, because that's all I had. And what did you tip today, MW? And I had 2 difficult blackjack sessions today, and I had to come back from behind on both of them. I made a conscious effort to leave something at home on purpose that would have made it possible for me to go to a different casino, but I think I made a mistake. I should have not done that, and I should have gone to the other casino. Anyway, I tipped nothing. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, that's like obvious. So I learned that my license plate is what got me at this casino, and they probably got it from the other casino, and they got it from the first casino. So now I'm pretty upset with that first casino, and I don't know if there's any way to undo any of this. I really don't. But yeah, this is going to be a problem here. So we are going to find other ways to do things, and like I said, I'll probably announce it in the next 30 days and start doing that in the next 30 days. So that's where we are right now, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I already talked to some people online about what happened to me today, and there's already a lot of people calling for me to release the video of what happened, and I probably will. I'll probably just have to do a lot of work to clean it up and hide locations and faces and stuff like that. But you can clearly see the guy talking. You can see the cop. I'm walking through the casino, and then I'm asking him about, stuff that happened and the replies. So that's all cool. We'll see what happens with that. I got home and ate dinner. My wife made me a beautiful steak with some blue cheese on top, some nice vegetables on the side, and all that was just delicious. Hung out with the kids for a little while. Hung out with my youngest. I've been trying to buy those pennies. Well, we decided to open up that box of pennies because I had an idea. I had seen online that you can buy Amazon gift cards with instead of paying the fee on Coinstar, and I'd seen that Amazon was one of the ones, so I thought, hey, this is great. I want to get Amazon cards, so I'll just do that. So we decided to open up the box of pennies, 2,500 pennies, and go through it. And as it turned out, it looks like I'm not the only one looking for 2025s, because 90% of this box was 2024s mixed in with regular pennies. So at first we were saving them, and then we decided not to. we ended up only finding like 10 good coins out of the whole lot that were valuable. And so I said, okay, well, let's go. So we went to a grocery store and checked, and Amazon wasn't available on the Coinstar. So we went to the one across the street, and it wasn't available there either. So we decided to do just a restaurant that we frequent instead. So we did that. But when we left the first place and we were going back to the car, my son took a big step trying to jump over something and twisted his ankle. So I'm like, oh Lord, I just got the $6,600 bill for my wife's teeth from the emergency room. So luckily he kind of walked it off eventually, and he's just limping slightly now, so hopefully he's okay. Ended up going to the other grocery store and cashing all those out, and I had some change from some casinos, cashed that as well, and I ended up getting that voucher, that gift card basically. So now at this point, I was going to go to the poker club a little earlier, but there is a satellite for a bigger tournament going on, and there's like 100 people there. And I know that I looked, and there were no 1-3 tables, or maybe one 1-3 table going, 1-2 table going. So I decided not to go just yet. And I knew the buy-in period is ending now, so there's going to be people busting out, and there'll be people on the list to play. Now, I thought about this. So this is a satellite to a big tournament, like a very large amount of money for the buy-in. So I thought, man, it's going to be a lot of better players there. So am I doing myself any favors by going there at this point, or does it make sense for me not to do that and try to do something else? And then I thought, this is a good opportunity. If I get, if I buy in for a small amount, like 200 at a time, then I could just push it anytime I have a good starting hand. And if people call, great, it might be a flip. And if they don't call, then I pick up some free funds. And then, if I'm just doing that with $1,000, that gives me 5 buy-ins. And all I have to do is make 1 or 2 of them work out. And, have it work out once or twice. And I'll be at least even. So that's the worst case scenario. Now, it could be the other way, where these people can't afford to buy into the big tournament, so they're trying to do the satellite, and they may not be good players. In that case, I would just play normal. So we'll see when I actually sit down what kind of players we're dealing with. And then I do want to try to hit a casino tonight to look at some slots, and we'll see what happens with that as well. So right now we are heading out to the poker club, and we'll get on the list here in about 5 minutes, because I don't want to be called too early, and go from there. So going to the poker club, I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, it is just after midnight, and what time did I get here? Let's see. Like I got here, yeah, I played for about 2 hours. Actually, I got here before that, but I was on the waiting list. When I saw a waiting list had 8 people on it, I was the 8th person. I thought I was in good shape, because I figured the tournament, someone would bust out of the tournament, and we'd have a full table. Maybe, a table would break in the tournament. Something like that would happen. And I'd get in right away, but it took a little while for me to get a seat. So I did what I said I was going to do. I decided just to buy in for 200 and just see how the table went. But the table was a mix of loose players, tight players, and good players. So it was like a little bit of everything. I actually folded some really nice hands. I don't remember a lot of them here. I'll tell you a few that I remember, and then one of these last hands also. So when I first got to the table, things were going really well for me. Everything I was doing was working out. My bets were good. I was getting good cards. Everything was going well for me. So within 20 minutes, I'm up like I was up like 180, 190, something like that. It happened pretty quickly. Then I had a hand where I had an open-ended straight, and there were 2 6s on the board. I needed I got an 8, which gave me a straight, and the other guy had checked. I did a small bet, like about half pot or so, and the guy just calls me, and he got a full house, so that one hurt. There was another hand. I had Ace of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, Ace of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, and pre-flop, this Asian guy to my left made it 15. No, I made it 15 pre-flop, and he made it 45. So I called. So the flop comes 10 Jack 8, right? 10 Jack 8. I have Ace Queen, and there's 2 clubs there. So now I've got a double gut shot to make it straight, and so I check, and he makes it 90. I think about it for a minute. I've got the Ace of Clubs. It's a long shot for the clubs to come, but it's their back door. I call. Let me see here. That was the flop. Okay. Then it came a king, which gives me the straight, right? Is that where we were? Yeah. So the king comes, gives me a straight. I check. He makes it 130. I go all in. He calls. And so now, but the king was a club also. So now, one more club. I have the nut flush, and I already have the nut straight. And of course, he folds when he sees my cards. But what I was worried about was that he already had a flush, because there were already 3 clubs on the board. But he called, and he said he had 2 pair. I don't know if he did or not. This was Asian guy, his brother or cousin. The Asian guy I was just playing was in like seat 7, and his brother or cousin, I think his brother, was in seat 1, which was interesting because a few times, I guess one of them knows English better than the other one. A few times they were both in a hand, and the other guy says one thing and puts out a different amount, claims that he doesn't know English very well, and then this guy asks them in their language, which is a no-no. You got to speak English on the table. But I kind of believe that they were on the up and up, that he really didn't know, and he was just asking him what the number was that he bet. Because it happened one time when there was heads up between the 2 of them. So why would they? It doesn't make sense. So anyway, lots of ups and downs. They did bomb pots, which is everybody puts in $10 pre-flop, and then everyone gets their 2 cards, and it goes right to the flop. And so this last bomb pot, I was complaining. Every bomb pot, I had nothing, and then not even close, not a draw, nothing. The last one, I flopped a gut shot. Everybody checks all the way around, and I turn the straight, but no, yeah, I turn the straight, but there's a higher straight, and the guy to my right checks. I check, and the guy to my left, not the Asian guy, the guy in seat 9, he makes it 40. And there's like $250, $300 in this pot. Maybe not that much. Maybe about 200 in this pot. So the other guy to my right snap calls. I'm like, I've got a straight. I know there's a higher straight. But when the guy to my right checks, and then he calls instantly on a raise, I'm like, one of them or both of them must have the higher straight. Thought about it. I just couldn't let it go. And I had a 7-3, and I called. And my 7 made the straight. and the guy to my left had a 7.3 also. We both had 7.3 offsuit, and the guy to my right had a 7.2. It's like, are you kidding me? 7.2, 7.2, 7.3. We end up chopping it 3 ways. And that was one of the last hands I played, but overall, it was an okay game. It's just not my thing. You know, blackjack is much better for me. If I could play blackjack with no heat, even if you give me like 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 8 spread, and that's all I could do, I would play it all day, all night. It's like, I enjoy that so much more than poker. But anyway, like I said, I played about 2 hours and I ended the session ahead, $199. So that helps out our numbers for the day. You know, I really need to try to get close to 1,000 a day. And right now with so much stuff up in the air, all these different casinos, I really can't make that much money. And I'm really worried about how I'm going to make money going forward without doing a ton of travel, but it'll come. So right now, like I said, it's after midnight. I am going to head to a casino. I'm already halfway there by the time, you know, I get to the poker club. So we're going to go ahead and go to the casino, see if we can find anything. Hopefully make $200 or $300 or $400, and then we'll head home. Now there is a game at the casino now that is in the high limit. I played it on the cruise ship, a different skin, but the same game. And this game is extremely high variance, and we'll see. But I mean, the top bet on this thing is $150 a bet, and it's extremely high variance. So we'll see. So heading to the casino, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and really wasn't finding a lot in there, but I found some decent plays, put some good stuff together. There was one play where this girl was sitting at this machine. She had to have known what was going on, just sitting there. Then I came back around. She had just gotten up as this guy sat down to play it, who knew what he was doing. And I kind of feel like maybe he told her to sit there and wait for him. I don't know. But lost that one. Walked around a lot and played like 8 or 9 machines, mostly small plays. One machine that I probably haven't played in 4 or 5 months, just not finding plays on it. And I found one there. And overall ended my session ahead. Overall ended my session ahead $263. So plus 263 more there. Pretty as close to $1,000. Much better. You know, I mean, we were only at like 500 less, maybe a little less than $500 before we went to play poker. Now we're closer to $1,000 for the day. A little bit more in line with where we need to be for each day. And we'll figure out what we're going to do on Sunday, but I will be back Sunday. Look for Coach's episode tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.